So, I talked about how Mikoto has Esper powers and how Shirai, or whatever the pink-haired girl's name is, knows how to properly use her teleportation abilities. Finally, someone knowing how to use teleportation as a weapon. I mean, that's awesome. Now comes Touma, and I am shocked to find out that I was wrong and that it's actually a railgun that's a spin-off of Magical Index. It's so weird. So weird. So, Espers versus Magicians. I am very, very sure that if ever someone made a follow-up series based on these two series, they would reveal that Espers and, Magicians are the same exact thing. Okay, so there's an episode of Magical Index where a guy uses needles to channel his magical ability. Same thing with the pink-haired girl. Now, I've talked about how Mikoto Misaka might be releasing strong force inside subparticles. Now, the subparticles beneath the atomic level, they're called quarks. So, quarks, when you put in energy into a quark, the amount of energy you'd need to separate a quark is the amount of energy a quark would need to forge another quark. Quarks are up and down quarks. Essentially two forces that counter each other, that stick to each other because they counter each other. And those two forces, those two particles with different forces, in order to split them, you need to shove in enough energy to create another one. So you end up splitting the two, but a positive charge goes into the negative charge, and negative blah, 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 blah. And my view is that Mikoto basically can channel how this works, how energy on a quark level passes from quark to quark to quark to quark, and that's how she causes them to explode, constantly creating a synthetic electron. And I have no idea why I'm going into the physics of the show. It's just too well made. So, it would stand to reason that if you could have biological energy that can do something on a quark level, then that biological energy could inherit, an ability from a person's brain. We know how to read things, we know how to speak things, we know how to, there's parts in the brain that have formed to let us understand writing, there are parts in the brain that have formed to let us understand speech. If the speech one is damaged, then we get a musical episode. And I'm gonna emphasize this enough. I love the Scrubs one, I've loved the Sanctuary one, I've adored the Buffy one, but if you are a viewer of Grey's Anatomy, don't. Just don't. Just skip it. Just don't. Just don't. For a show that, no. Just no. Just skip it. So, here's the thing. If biological energy can inherit the ability to recognize stuff, like words and letters and things, then that biological energy, it would stand to reason, could be inherited could be sent out into the world, and that energy that's sent out into the world could recognize stuff in a book, and that book would, let you channel that energy. So that Espers equal energy, ambient energy around the world, magic being the use of that ambient energy. So that's pretty much it. That's what would make sense if there was a point where magic turned out to be scientifically logical. And, that's about it. That would explain so much. Including, Avengers. How Doctor Strange would work in Avengers, and so on. Also, it makes total and utter sense if you think about how the Green Lantern's ring works. Because when you're watching DC stuff, you always get the sense of if you shoot a laser inside a DC universe, the laser's either gonna burn out, lose energy after a while, or it's going to be a superhero laser, which means that it's going to keep on getting stronger the further away the laser is aimed, because that would make sense if particles are steadily excited and so on and so forth. And how Hot Girl could punch an energy blast capable of destroying a planet back onto the barrel. That would make total sense. Yeah. And this show has me thinking about 100 different things because it's so good. I definitely recommend you watch Railgun S. It's pretty good. And then watch A Certain Magical Index, because A Certain Magical Index is not something you start with. Railgun S is what you start with. If you're an anime fan who understands good storytelling and likes good storytelling. I'm just saying, Railgun S before Magical Index.